Hey, how are you doing? My name is Raheem Lockridge, and I am a CIS student at no, excuse me. Yeah, CIT student at GCU University, and I'm here to discuss the dispensational values of a counselor. First, I need to talk about, hold on a second. Where am I? Can I see me? Yeah, I can see me. Uh, Maybe this work like this. I can do this like this. I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. I apologize uh for my technical difficulty. So dispositional values. I put some thought into this because I actually did this video. This is my second time doing it. Really like third, just for the way that first time I did it on my phone, but psychological fitness. In the counselor dispositions, it reads CIT strive to maintain a holistic wellness across multiple domains of their mental, relational, and professional lives while focusing on interpersonal values to promote positive growth. CIT is engaged in activities to promote openness, self awareness, and self acceptance. CITs proactively practice self care and are committed to mental health support to maintain psychological fitness. So the reason why I read the whole thing was because it kind of foreshadows into everything else that the other two dispensations that I'm gonna speak on. So psychological fitness is basically your mind, body, soul, your activity, the things that go on in your life, and how you balance them. One thing I do, I work almost, I have something because I'm an entrepreneur. So I have something I do every day for work, 7 days a week, unless I double up on a day. So I have to make time for my family. I have a wife, I have children, I have grandchildren. Um, I have to make time for myself. I have to make time to do things like wash my car and cut my grass. But I actually find satisfaction in doing things like that. I spend a lot of time in meditation of what God said. Like at one time, I spent a lot of time reading what God said. So now I'm more, not that I don't read, I do read, but I find myself more meditating on the things that He said as things happen. So, which goes into my self awareness. Intentionally reflect on your value system, influence the personal and professional relationships, demonstrate authenticity in relation to themselves and others. CITs bracket personal beliefs and values when faced with ideas that are different than their own, avoiding inflicting harm on others. I've been a hairstylist for over 30 years, but besides that, for my personal self, as my self awareness, at one time I started asking myself, how do I feel? What I mean is, like before I went to sleep, like how do you feel before I went into a situation? How do you feel right now? Well, I feel anxious. Well, why are you anxious? Well, because I got this thing coming up and I have to speak to these people. Well, what's the word say? Be anxious for nothing. Don't worry about what you say. The Holy Spirit will give you the words to say. So I will meditate on those things and basically come to the basis of how I feel, and then I'll be able to move forward. Concerning other people, um, I understand that just like snowflakes, everyone's different. It wouldn't matter your culture, your religion, whatever age, everyone's different because everybody is an individual. Um, so for me to try to change your individuality based on how I feel or my values will not be the same because just like it says in the word, um, if we all were an ear, what could would one big ear do? Because we all together make up the body of Christ. So we all together make up the fabric of the world, not just one person or one type of thing. Um, Cultural diversity, acceptance, empathy, genuineness, flexibility, patience. I spoke on another one. I spoke on acceptance. I'm gonna talk more about patience. far as this is concerned, CITs respect autonomy of self and others while fostering growth, encouragement, a relational environment that promotes respect, flexibility, and self-exploration. CITs model calmness within varied contexts and steadfast, fluid, and enduring manner. So part of my personal makeup is like in self-examination. I found that my default setting is relaxed. So what I mean is it could be a fire, like it was a fire in my house. Hey everybody, once I saw that I couldn't put it out because I didn't have the proper training. Hey everybody, time to go, it's fire. I'm like, what are you playing? I'm like, no, it's fire. Come on. So my patience. I heard a saying that I kind of weighed over time that patience is being the same in different situations. So, like if you lose your patience, you lose your cool, you lose who you were. It's part of being flexible to your environment. Um, I've worked with mentally disabled people at all different type of levels where I live with, uh, functioning, high functioning, low functioning, violent behaviors, fighters, to this violent behaviors, um, and people who, let's just say, people who might not know they were mentally disabled, who have impulse control problems. So you have to be cool just because if, my pastor said in marriage counseling, the secret of this old couple, one guy said, we just don't go crazy at the same time. What you mean? If the wife go crazy, I let her go crazy. I'll be cool. And I guess if I'm losing it, she be cool. So somebody got to be cool. Since I'm a professional, when I'm at work, I got to be cool and have patience. Um, I'm gonna pause just because I don't remember what the last question is. I don't have to be quiet. But did she agree? Mhm. My growth, two areas in which I need growth would be, you know what? My empathy. Honestly, I know how to act empathetic. Uh, I remember it was a tragedy. It was a worldwide tragedy. Watching it unfold from beginning to end. I'm just watching it. I'm watching it just like a television program. So at one point towards the evening, because this tragedy had been going on for like all day on TV. Um, and at one point, I felt bad for the people. Now, what's interesting is I watched the man, this is 9/11, I watched the man jump from the roof of the building, or out a window of the building, fall and scream, take a breath, and scream, and fall. Um, and I was like, wow, because in everybody's preconceived notion of what would happen if they fell from a large building like that, you would think you would pass out. Like he was asked, just take a toll. So that's what I would have thought. So I didn't feel bad till later on when they were coming out with the dust on their head. And really what it was, I felt bad. Then I remember the scripture in Revelations, I think 19, about the fall of Babylon, Almighty Babylon, she is fallen, and they come out with dust on their heads. And so my empathy, I do understand situations. It's just like, so, and the reason why it's like that is more just because I've through prayer, through perseverance, through God, I've overcome many things that people would consider to be life-ending things. Like I got a friend, and he works 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Some days, usually 6 hours, 6 days, 12 hours. He makes a decent wage, but he's recently divorced. That a job like that is like being in prison, like honestly, because all you really can do is go home and go to sleep. So he said, "Oh man, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's cause it's cause you know how to do hair. You made a decision when we was kids. You know how to make do hair." And I empathize with them because I've had that job, um, and if need be, I would go back to that job. But I was just trying to get him to change his thought process. So then it'll go back to patience. So the things that I'm good at, the things that I'm bad at. So people have stuff that's wrong with them, and I want to fix it quick. That's not therapeutic. That's not what we signed up for as a whole. It's a process, so I need to learn to work through the process. My professional identity will. I'm known as an honest person. Like people who know me, that grew up with me, that come across me, like people ask me questions, and it wouldn't matter. Let's just say I have friends that do stuff. Like I have a friend that does home repair. Um, I have a few friends that do different things for home repair. Rodney is a very, very close friend of mine. We've done business together. We've been friends. We've referred business together. He used to do ladies' nails. Now he does heating and cooling. Would I refer Rodney as a party promoter or somebody to host your event or help you get it started for the evening or to be a commentator? Definitely. Would I hire Rodney to come do your heating and cooling or refer him? No, I would not. So, and he's my friend. And if he was to ask me, like I'm telling you this, but if he was to ask me, I think you charge more than that. But he charged more for nails, but he charges more than your average heating and cooling guy. And even though he got 10 years of experience, at 50, that's not a whole lot of experience for a heating and cooling guy. But not to, like I said, I wouldn't say anything bad about him. But if someone was to ask me, so my honesty, um, I need to maintain memberships in these organizations like the ACA and my local ACA, my Michigan chapter, my Southwest Michigan chapter. Um, I'm going to sign up as a student and start paying attention to what they're doing. Um, I want to help people. At the end of the day, like I've had in my life, I'm my only child, grew up in the ghetto, in an impoverished area, but very, very, very high achieving test scores, very good scores, very, very heavy discipline home. Actually, beat too much, but not like improperly, but beat too much. Um, Religious home. I found the Lord for myself, though, even though I was in a religious home. I had a lot of freedom as music goes, and I made music, but I fell into like crime as a child, um, just for gym shoes, for no other reason, because the world changed on a Wednesday, where it wasn't cool just to have regular clean shoes. You needed to have these shoes and that shoe, and it would become a stigmatism to somebody's growing up. No one like so when the whole time, if somebody would have told me when I was in the seventh grade when I was going out of town doing math competitions for academic games that, hey, you keep this up, in 7 more years, you'll be making 120,000 doing this. Nobody told me that. So I would like to be the guy that came to the hood where you at. I understand your mother has limited income. I understand there's no jobs. I used to rake grass. I still rake grass because that's where the Lord directed me. But it's more to life than what you see. So that's the type of counselor I want to be. I've worked in um, all types of different industries. Like uh, I've worked in the culinary industry, so I would be able to counsel somebody in the culinary industry. I've worked in the manufacturing industry, so I would be able to help somebody who's worked and because I've actually lived those things. I've been to prison and been through trial. I understand what that's like. I've been through mental evaluations and my own drug problems. I had a drug problem. Um, Nothing that it was a drug problem, like honestly. So I could help somebody who went through a drug problem and going through a drug problem. Um, so I just want to help somebody. Life is short. To sum up, life is short. At the end of the day, like when you're a kid, somebody says, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Somebody said, "Fireman, police officer." Um, But do you want to go to heaven? What is they going to say about you when you get to heaven? What is God going to say about the work you did? So I want to help people. And that's it. I've always made money, so it's not about money. It's about love, and that's my personal identity, the love of God and Christ. Um, and I will share that as needed, but I will walk in love. Thank you. Hope it's not too long.